Okay, take two. Forget what happened last stream. This time we're going to be looking at a Rubik. So, no more of that nature's puppet. But we'll be focusing mostly on the Rubik and his abilities and what he contributes to the game. His role as, well, typically a support. It might be a mid Rubik, we'll have to see. But this is one of the most interesting heroes in Dota 2, so I'll be pretty excited to share this with you all. This will be more of a stream focused on explaining the details of a hero to a fan base that is not entirely sure of what Dota may entail, I guess, or what a hero can do. So that's how I'm going to structure this. As soon as it loads. Oh, it's in the bag. There we go, game's loaded. Let's set it to free camera. We might eventually switch to player view. And this is who we're going to watch. This guy here. This is Rubik. Floating wizard with his staff. This is because he's got an arcana at the moment. Look at that. Wow, cosmetics. Anyway, so Rubik, ladies and gentlemen, he is a support. A high damage mage whose skill really comes in when someone in high tier gameplay is playing him, I think. True showcase of skill, I think. A little bit of combat right now. He might actually... He's looking in a bit of trouble. Will we get to Roshan in time? No, he dies to the poison touch from Dazzle. Unfortunate. So yeah, as you can see, he is pretty squishy, unfortunately, which means that he is pretty easy to take down. Only 700 health at level 1. However, he makes up for this later on with his ultimate. I'll describe his abilities for you. So his first ability, Telekinesis. That's him teleporting to lane right now, using a teleportation scroll. He'll be hiding in those trees, helping out his off-lane mains here. A little bit of combat. Anyway, his first spell, Telekinesis, lifts an enemy for a short duration. Now, this will basically take them out of the fight. You can still hit them and cast spells on them and everything like that. They're just stunned for a small duration. Let's see how long it is. Up to 2.1 seconds. Okay. Stun duration, 1.8 there. So, lift, and then he can target where he wants them to land after that. So you can throw them at an enemy and stun them upon landing, which is pretty nice. Which means he can even lift a creep and throw them at the enemy heroes to stun them both. That's Mars falling there. Now, Rubik, he tried to mitigate the damage a little bit with his second ability, that's this Fade Bolt right here. What this does is it shoots a bouncing stream of energy that hits everything in the area. It bounces from one enemy unit to another. And what it does is it reduces their damage output for a short duration. Look at that, 10-second debuff duration. And it's a 14% damage reduction level 1, up to 35%. It also does significant damage later on as well. If he puts more points into this as he levels up. In fact, he's level 2 now, he hasn't put any point in anything else yet. Let's see what he chooses to do. Alright. So that is his second ability. Pretty much the bread and butter of a Rubik is using his Fade Bolt as much as he can, just to make the enemy's life a little bit harder. Look at it, bouncing between all those units there. It does do less damage per bounce. Yep, as you see, each jump deals less damage, but it pretty much bounces infinitely between everything in the area, so... Oh, very nice, Pugna getting killed on Clinks right there. Meanwhile, Rubik's third ability, this is his passive here, makes him pretty strong later on, is his Arcane Supremacy. This increases his cast range by a certain amount, plus it amplifies the spells that he uses, including Telekinesis and Fable. Now, you might be thinking, that's not much of a passive for just those two skills. He's got the Telekinesis here. Will be able to save? No, he doesn't. Unfortunate. Unable to save his left laner once again. Mars getting killed quite a bit. Yeah, it's 2 kills for this Dazzle now. 2 kills for the Pugner too. 1 for this Phantom Lance. Pretty rough start anyway. So you might be thinking, why this passive? And that is because, just ignore those at the moment. This ultimate right here, Spell Steal. This is what makes a Rubik a Rubik, basically. What this does is it allows him to target an enemy hero and take a copy of the spell that they last used. So these here, these are the spells that they've got available. Not the passives though, however. These spells I should probably be looking at. Very nice. Nice spear from Mars, being able to get that kill on the Dazzle there. Yeah, there's a bit of net worth as well, let's see that. Oh, yeah. More than the Rubik. So he's pretty happy about that. Anyway, meanwhile, it takes a copy of the last spell that that enemy target has used. So say this Phantom Lancer uses Spirit Lance, Rubik can take that and use it against them. You might be thinking, that's overpowered, but, well, yeah. It's pretty strong. And it's what makes this hero so much fun to play. So you might see some strange spells in these slots. Once he reaches level 6 and gains that ultimate point, he'll have a couple of spells. He can store up to 2 at a time. That's why there's 2 slots here. Oh, actually, that's after he gets his Aghanim's is that he can get 2. Anyway. So yeah, later on you'll see some strange looking spells here, and that's because he's taking them from the enemy. Now they can still use theirs, it's not like it's stealing it from them, it's just like permanently, it's just making a copy of it. So pretty short cooldown at max level as well, 4 seconds, which means it can steal ultimate abilities as well. You can see him here, chasing down this Marcy. We'll be able to help us Undying. Undying can get the kill. Yeah, good job Undying. So yeah, he'll be using this to create a lot of disruption during a fight and output quite a significant amount of damage if left alone. However, the enemy team can shut him down. He's still squishy, remember, being an intelligence-based mage. So if they can get on top of him and kill him before he steals any significant spells, then he's not going to be much use to this game. But we'll see. A good Rubik is able to use whatever spell he steals and effectively use that spell in a fight, regardless of the spell. So we will see. And that's what makes this passive so strong, is it amplifies whatever the enemy spells are. So you can actually end up using their spells better than the enemy can. Right, he does have that Burn of Shadows. That's what he used on that Marcy before. It helped to pick up that kill. Pretty nice item. He doesn't have boots quite as of yet. Arcane Boots is typically the way to go on a Rubik, so that you've got that mana. The mana available to cast your spells. He was so close to that Fable. Pango will be able to escape here. DUI, that's the name of this player. Well, he's currently calling himself MC. Ooh, a lot of action down bot lane. Alright, so he's putting most of his points into Fade Bolt right now. He's almost level 6, which means he'll have the Spell Steal soon. Now, he's putting a lot of points in here so that he can get the most damage output from the spell, plus a lower cooldown so he can use it more often. You can see down at the bottom there, 16, 14, 12, 10. That is what is known as the cooldown of the ability. So you can see here, it's put on a timer after he's used it, which means he can't use it again for a short duration until that timer runs out. So currently it's at 12 seconds. One more point, it'll be at 10 seconds even. Now here you go. He's just stolen a spell from this Pugna before, and he stole his Nether Blast. Now it's going to have points according to whatever the enemy is putting their points into. So, oh, he's maxed it out by now. So the next time he's going to steal that spell, it'll be at 4 points. See here, if you stole Shield Crash right now, it'll only be a level 2 Shield Crash. Only 2 points. And he's just used this spell here. There we go, he Shield Crashed against that enemy Pangolier, using his own spell against him. He's run out of mana. He does need these Arcane Boosts, that's what he's going to buy next. A little bit of speed from his boost of speed as well. Oh, that's a dead undying. Yes, it is. Trying to cast that spell. Pugna's Ward there. The silence coming out though from this Pugna and Puck. Names are confusing sometimes. Gotta say that. Alright. He's using his ultimate ability there, that Life Drain. Very nice. Alright, keep focusing on this Rubik here. Look at him go. He's gonna be walking up the river here, past the Roche Pit. He's gonna eventually have the money for this energy booster. Let's see what he chooses to do here. Well, they do know that he's in the area. There's vision of him. In fact, they might go for him here. This is the Dust of Appearance, even though he got the Invis Ring. It's looking like he's pretty dead. Yeah, Marcy able to bring him down thanks to the help of that Pangolier. She did use her ult, and she's also very low. Pugna's gonna try healing her up for the meantime. Mr. Biggest Winner in the Universe, the name there. So, almost able to get the return kill, but unfortunately not successful in that. Alright, here we go, he's going to respawn. Now, while he is respawning and TPing in, we can talk about his Shard and his Scepter. So, these items here, I'll show you. This one here, Aghanim Shard. He's just used the Swashbuckle against that Pangolier. Very nice. And then, where is it? This item here, the Aghanim Scepter. So what those items allow a hero to do is to amplify their abilities in some way, or even get an entirely new spell into their repertoire. So quite worthwhile items. Nice, using that Swashbuckle from the Pangolier to escape to the high ground, away from that Phantom Master. I was about to call him a Pangolier as well. Let's start with P. So many names start with P. We got Puck, Pugna, Phantom Lancer, and Pangolier. Very interesting. Alright. So, his Shard, first of all. This is like the mini Scepter. The mini upgrade. Allows him to target allies with telekinesis, his first ability here, or himself. Here we go. Doing typical support stuff, gaining this double stack on these creeps. You can see they've just respawned in on that 12-minute timer, and this has made it so that there's more creeps in that area for the carry to farm. They're going to get a lot of money from that. Plus, Rubik gets your share of the money, so it's always worthwhile for him to do that for his allies. Anyway, the Shard allows you to target yourself or allies with telekinesis, which means that instead of just enemies, he can cast it on, say, this Puck here or something. Look at him going on that. That was the telekinesis being used. And Swashbuckle did slowly shield crashed and used that against him, but looks like he's going to die here as the rest of the enemy team TP's in. Not able to bring down the Pango quite. Oh! what an arena from Mars here, able to bring down 2 in quick succession. Meanwhile, Pangolier trying to man-fight a whole bunch of the enemy team. Marcy just gets nuked down here. Phantom Lasso, sorry, trying to run away, gets speared towards a tree and blown up by the pump. That's a double kill. I'd say, Rubik would say that's worth it. 4 for 1. That's ideal for a support, gotta say. He did initiate that fight by jumping in that Pango, so kudos to him. You can see he's died, so he lost the abilities that he copied, and we'll have to try and get it back. Right, we were talking about the shard. So what this does, it increases the throw range as well. So once they're lifted into the air, they can get thrown incredibly far, which means you can save yourself and allies with it. So say an ally is in the middle of the enemy team getting beaten up. This Mars, we'll say, is like about to die. What the Rubik can do is he can save his buddy here by purchasing Shard and using Telekinesis on him and taking him out of the fight. Talking about fights, Marcy and Pangolier here starting one and finishing it. That's a dead Rubik once again, swashbuckled to death. It's unfortunate, but there's only so much you can do as a support. These guys are pretty high damage, so able to burst down a squishy mage like Rubik pretty easily. Not even at 1,000 health yet compared to Marcy. You can see a level below, and yet she's like 300 health above, so you can see that difference there. Anyway, so that's the shard, which yeah, makes him a lot more versatile. Being able to save himself and allies, movement abilities like that are pretty good in this game. You gotta say, this Marcy, very deep here. Kind of behind the enemy lines as they kill off the Pango. I'm gonna placing the ward down. Although we got another ward on Rubik here. That's Pugner's basically his signature ability that Arena missed there, unfortunately. Yeah, there's Rubik using it against the Pugner. Lifted him up and fade bolted him, but the spear kind of carried him away. Might have saved him there. Yeah, they're just able to run out away from that fight. Alright, meanwhile we have the Aghanim Scepter here. I will talk about that in a second as Marcy jumps in trying to look for that heart, but he'll find an Undying instead. Big silence coming out. This is a Nether Ward as well. Undying's very low. That swashbuckle not enough to kill him quite as of yet. Marcy will have to run away. Mars trying to TP out will get stunned up and his life gets sucked away from him. That's a dead Mars. Pango, he was still looking for more but not able to find it. Using his Rolling Thunder. So Undying better be careful. You can heal from the Soul Rip, but it's not going to be much. Rubik staying alive through that fight though. Very well played by him. Good positioning is key to a support's career. It's what separates a bad support from a good support, is position. Being caught out is not what you want. Very nice. That was a nice game. Puck using his Dream Coil and his silence and everything to stop that Pangolier from running away. Anyway, meanwhile, we were talking about the Scepter Spell Steal upgrade. Now what this does, you see how there's 2 spell slots here? Basically this unlocks the second slot, so he can have 2 spells active at the same time. Plus it increases cast range and allows Rubik to use the Aghanim's upgrades of any enemy spell that he steals. So this can be pretty complex. It looks simple, but when you consider that it gives him the Aghanim's upgrades of any skill he takes, it gets quickly complicated. So having 2 skills at once is nothing to laugh at as well. Being able to take, say, a Rolling Thunder plus the Swashbuckle from this Pangolier. Shield crash on him. Oh, might be dying here. Yeah, Phantom Lancer brings him down with his army of illusions there. Pangolier, a little bit of outplay. It's well done by him. Flicks is in trouble. Mars is here with the ultimate, the arena. Caught two, but not able to bring them down as of yet. Phantom Lancer running away. Puck not able to kill him. Oh, he got the kill. He does. Wow, the Dazzles had to use the Shallow Grave on this Puggernaut. He's going to die though. Yeah, for sure. That was a very nice shield. God's Rebuke. I call it Shield Bash, but it's, yeah, the name is God's Rebuke here. Anyway, Rubik's alive again. This Puck. Godlike killing spree, look at that. Now, so being able to have 2 spells at any given time during the fight is pretty insane. But as you can see, we can look at Pangolier's ability as he dies here. His Agnum Scepter upgrade for Shield Crash throws out a Swashbuckle in 4 directions whenever he uses Shield Crash. So it basically uses his first ability when he uses his second ability. And now Rubik can steal that second ability to use Swashbuckle as well. So he just gets it for free. If he gets his own Agnum Scepter, he can use that upgraded spell. And yeah, it's really devastating. So Pugner's Agnums improves his life during his ultimate here, reduces the cooldown to 0, I believe, and increases the damage output. So if Rubik steals that while he's got an Agnum Scepter, then he's got that upgrade for free, pretty much, and can use that against the enemy team. So, very nicely done by the Radiant side. Look at that 7k net worth lead. This Puck right at the top. We might make a video on him. He's pretty top of the meta at the moment. We could talk about his abilities. Maybe have we discussed everything there is to know about Rubik? I believe we have. Part of his draw, why you want to play this hero, is using the enemy's abilities better than they can, pretty much. Outplaying them and making things happen for your team. That's why people love Rubik, because he's a staple of Dota, this character right here. And yeah. Many skilled players love playing this Rubik. Meanwhile, since Puck here, he's running away with the game, we might as well talk about him as well. This guy, he's very elusive. Squishy, but elusive. Let's see, oh, he's got a few more levels, actually. Usually played in the mid lane, so he's got that level advantage. But the thing about this hero, his theme, is basically not being able to be pinned down super easily. Right, he's able to travel pretty quickly across places, able to avoid and disjoint projectiles and enemy attacks, and blow them up in return with enough damage output plus the right items. So, we'll start with his first ability here, this Illusory Orb. There's 2 facets to this ability, right? The first, of course, using Illusory Orb, sends a little ball of light out, right? Which damages enemies in that line as that ball hits them. You can see as it like changes color at the end there. And it has like a certain sound effect as well. What makes this ability super interesting though is it's got a secondary function, this ethereal jaunt, right? Which allows this Puck to teleport immediately towards wherever that illusory orb is. So if he sends it in a direction, you might see it again. Does he use it here? Yes, he does. He's just jaunted all the way to where that orb's position is, which gives him quite the range from mobility. Alright, he's just gonna TP away now, going up top. So, Will they be able to find this partner? Yes, they do. The enemy team has given up. Actually, this is lag on my end, I believe. The stream's still running, so it's just Dota. Oh no! Well, we seem to have been cut out of that game. We can see though that Puck and his team was winning, so kudos to Rubik, kudos to Puck. They did well. In terms of that Puck, he did very well. Disgustingly well. Mid 1, I know that guy. He's part of Secret, I believe. So he's an actual professional player. Asta, I believe, is also one. You can see top 39 in the world is that Rubik. Top 93. Puck up there, 106. Top 22. There for mid 1. No wonder he's a pro. I'm just gonna have a drink of water. Hang on. So here we can look at the roster right now. Any hero we want to have a look at. Here we go, this is the boy Rubik. I don't have that Akana. Let's see if it will load. There we go, that's him floating in. But this is... yeah. I've got cosmetics for him as well. We'll show what he looks like normally. That's what he looks like normally. So his general color theme is green with this kind of black, bluish coat kind of thing, right? And he's a mage with a staff, so that's how you'll be able to recognize him in the game. Plus his abilities are all green aesthetic, so it's usually how you can identify a Rubik within the game. But yeah, we've discussed his abilities pretty handily, and we'll talk about the Puck over... where is my boy Puck? Over here. There he is. This little fairy dragon. This is the cosmetics that I've got. This is what he looks like normally, I believe. And this is what he could look like. Many different cosmetics for this guy. I'm just using the immortal for him anyway. We didn't quite finish discussing his abilities, so I might finish that off right now. So we've discussed the illusory or plastic ethereal jaunt combo that he has, giving him that range of mobility, making him very difficult to chase, to pin down, and also able to chase down and pin down in return. Makes him pretty significantly strong in team fights and and picking off individual heroes as well, which is why he's top in the meta currently, I'd say. Right up there in some of the strongest heroes to currently play. Now, so just another sip of water. Let's talk about his W, his Waning Rift here. Now what this does is it throws damaging dust around Puck in a small area while teleporting him forward a small area. Okay, so maybe I'll demo this for you if it will load properly, and then I can showcase that ability properly, because it's kind of hard to describe. It's just like, it's not quite a jump forward, it's what is known as a blink in Dota terminology. Just a very short teleportation, and it's pretty instantaneous as well. Now this damaging dust is unique in that it silences as well in an AoE around Puck. Just cast it to a target location so you can use it behind it. Alright, let's level him up. Level 6, 1 point in every ability. There we go.
Exactly so.
There you go. So this is Puck, the fairy dragon.
I go at will.
Kind of a unique design. When you think of a dragon, you don't think of a small dragon fairy thing like Puck. You think of it like a big dragon, right? But
My move.
this is like the opposite end of that curve. Anyway, so
We
illusory
are in
orb
accord.
throws an orb out. Small cooldown as well. 9 seconds max level. We can turn on 3
Commendable
spells.
notion.
There are orbs everywhere. Where would it teleport me to? Oh, I can't use it.
Absolutely. Here I am.
Here we go. That's him jaunting, using his ethereal jaunt, teleporting to the position of that illusory orb. You see, you can wait quite a while before using that ability. But once it reaches that apex, then you can't ethereal jaunt anymore. So you gotta time it pretty effectively. The key to using it, or knowing when this will expire, is you can see the orb change color slightly. You can see it becomes sort of pink. So at the moment it's blue. There it's pink. You can see that. But you can always just use a very short range or whatever. Behold.
Very well.
Very well. Strange. Anyway, Waning Rift. I was about to call it a Waning Rift. What? Waning Rift. This is his target, and what I can do is I just pop up in that little location there, and I throw the dust everywhere, and this silences enemies
With alacrity.
nearby. We'll put in a dummy target right here. This little toy hunter dummy target. Boom! Silence. And it's instantaneous like that. You just turn up in that area and silenced and damaged enemies nearby. So, very strong ability. Coupled with the illusory orb means that, you know, he's quite the mobile character. Now, for the last of his basic abilities, he has phase shift.
Absolutely.
Now what this does is it takes Puck out of the fight completely
With
for a short
alacrity.
duration. So at 1 second at level 1, boom.
Puck out.
You can see there's like a little bit of dust where he was. But he's completely out of the fight, unable to be harmed or targeted by anything. You can see these little creeps attacking him, boom. And he's out of combat. Unable to be harmed for a small duration.
I go at will.
So you can use that by blinking in, using this ethereal, waning rift, and then phase shifting afterwards so that they can't
We are in
retaliate,
accord.
which makes him very annoying to play against. And say a huge projectile is like heading his way, he can dodge it using this phase shift. So
Just so.
that's the extent of Puck's basic abilities. Finally though, we have Dream Coil. Now let's get
Very well.
a little rookie here. A little enemy hero. We're going to use this Dream Coil on him as and you can see what it does. I'll describe it afterwards. It will be easier to show in the first case though.
Exactly so.
This is the area that he can cast this ability, and it puts a small AoE on that ground. You can see this blue circle. I'm going to cast it right now. Bam! See that flower? Now as he moves away, you see he was tethered to the flower, but as he moved away a short distance, then, oops, wrong button, then it did a lot of damage to him, and it stunned as well. We can kill him afterwards. So a very strong ultimate ability here, and that kind of forces them to stay within a certain radius, a certain area. Otherwise, if they went too far, they take quite significant damage, if I say so myself. Up to 275? Oh no, 400! That's just the initial damage from Dreamfall. And it lasts for... how long does it last? 6
They
seconds.
deserve no less.
Oops, I killed him with it.
More forget
I
after
didn't mean to do
they
that.
can.
There we go. So he's able to move around freely within that area, but as soon as he moves outside of a certain radius, it's it for him.
Absolutely.
That's it. He gets stunned and he takes significant damage. So, yeah, there we go. Creates a coil of volatile magic that latches onto enemy heroes, damaging and unleashing them. If the enemy hero stretches the coil by moving too far away, it snaps, stunning and dealing additional damage.
With
So
alacrity.
very strong ultimate ability. So you can see that Puck very much specializes in locking down, disrupting, and
I venture
dealing a
forth.
lot of damage in the AoE areas while being not very susceptible to return fire himself. So say this Ricky was attacking him,
I
he
go
can
at
use
will.
so many avenues to escape. He can jump away with that, or he can jump away with that, or he can even phase shift away from reality to completely avoid his
Very
attacks,
well.
which is
Quickly.
very strong,
You know that
although there are
little
cooldowns.
power of yours? Yeah, it's
And we'll say
See no
if
evil.
Puck gets silenced in return,
just so.
can't use his
You
ability, so
realize
he's kind of stuck there.
I split
Yeah,
it.
that's
Commendable
one way to
notion.
counter the Puck. Now,
Your middle
Puck
tower is under
typically
attack.
buys a Blink Dagger,
Blink
which makes him
Dagger.
even more
I
mobile.
proceed.
Pretty insane. This allows him to
Not
pop
yet.
up at wherever he wants to go
Very well.
in an AoE. Boom, boom, boom. I've got 3 spells on at the moment, which is why there's no cooldown to it, but ordinarily. Whoops, wrong ability.
Behold!
You see, I don't play Puck that much,
With
so I need to practice this hero as well. But professional
I
players
venture
can
forth.
abuse this hero, just as we saw in that game before,
Indeed.
to the fullest effect, able to, yeah,
My
absolutely demolish enemy teams. So yeah, that is Puck. That is this hero. We'll quit out of that. Just a quick little showcase of 2 of the main players of that game
Gambits and
and
exploits
what those heroes could do, what their abilities were, and their impact. Alright. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Very much appreciated. And yeah, if you want to see more, yeah, I'll be putting out videos pretty much daily. Alright,